Hi everybody, I have the chance to chat today with one of my favorite athletes, which is Tessa Virtue. Tessa is with her partner Scott Moir, the most decorated figure skaters in Olympic history. They owned 5 Olympic medals, 3 golds and 2 silver. She's one of the most famous Canadian athletes in the past decade. ESPN voted her one of the most famous female athletes in the world. She retired from ice dance in 2019 and still continues to be a strong advocate for women's empowerment, working with Fit Spirit to help young girls play sports. And plus, she's also doing her MBA. Hi, Tessa.
Hi, what an intro. Thanks.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much to have accepted my invitation.
Are you kidding? I didn't think twice about it. I'm honored to be on, and I just adore you, and I love all the work you're doing. So thank you for chatting.
Thank you so much. Well, I adore you too. So do you realize that still today you retired and you're one of the most famous athletes in Canada or in the world?
I mean, I don't know if that's, I don't know how accurate that is, but I feel really lucky. You know, I mean, we're all aware of the hardships faced by athletes once their Olympic window has closed, and it's fleeting, you know. And I think as Canadians, we do really rally behind our athletes. We support them. We love Olympians, but it's hard to follow up, you know, Olympic success post career. So I feel very fortunate to have been able to partner with certain brands and to continue working on the things that I'm really passionate about. But I appreciate the compliment. And no, it's not something I think about very often.
But you are famous, but you are most importantly a great role model. What qualities does a great role model has?
I mean, I think at the core of everything I try to do, my mission is to help empower people, but particularly girls and women. I know that's central to everything you do as well. And it's so important. I believe that a lot of that is empathy and confidence, having some experience, just so that there is a natural storyline that maybe resonates with girls following along. But you know, you're someone who just speaks from the heart, who lives from the heart. And I think that's what girls need to see. They need to see these role models. It needs to be visible. You're putting it out there in the media. And I think girls need to see that, you know, with discipline, hard work, a vision, that we can be unstoppable. But a lot of that is ensuring that they have the opportunity, the resources to try things and to be exposed to different activities and sports.
Absolutely. And sports is really important, especially during COVID. Why is it so important for children, teens, and especially girls to practice sports?
Well, I've been wondering how people are managing through COVID. I know with so many sports systems shutting down, even ski hills now, it's so sad. I know my neighbors just got skis and they were so excited to get going and take their kids out. And it's really sad, but I think especially right now when there's this feeling of confinement and we're so restricted, I worry about the mental state of everyone, and we're connected to these devices. And I imagine, you know, for teens, it's even worse. And we can't underestimate the value of moving your body, of physical exercise, of the endorphins and the dopamine that is released when we do that. I think it connects us to ourselves. There's a sense of feeling grounded, but also, as you know, there's also a different sense of self-worth. And when I'm in tune with my body, when I'm sweating, when I'm working out, I feel so much more powerful. And I think, you know, especially with what's happening right now, we just can't lose sight of that. You know, our bodies are our instruments, and we need to be careful and take care of them.
Oh, you are so right. I just started a Zwifting.
What's that?
Yeah, you know, you're with your bike inside, and
oh my gosh. Okay, so it's a real road bike that is on
yes
platform. Got it. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Good for you. Yeah, I've been on the Peloton quite a bit, and it's a good workout.
So no, it's good. And I just said it in the introduction. You're doing your MBA. Explain to me how it started. Why?
I knew I wanted to do graduate studies. You know, schooling was always important to me. And I think if I'm, you know, I see myself working within the business realm, and I really want to earn some credibility. I have, you know, 10, 15 years experience, but in a very different way. I see things through a different lens. And so I really wanted to learn. I wanted to broaden my horizons. I wanted to challenge myself. And quite honestly, I wanted to feel frightened of a task, and when you really put yourself out there and you're doing something that feels meaningful or significant, there's a fear element. And I think I was looking for that in my life. I had grown accustomed to that through sport and knew that, creating a buffer between sport and post-sport life, it would be important for me to set new goals and challenges. So this fit the bill, and I'm really loving it. I mean, it is quite a big challenge, but I think that's what makes it so thrilling.
And what's the biggest challenge so far?
Well, part of it is learning entirely virtually.
Yes.
The program was sort of set up for, and Queen's, where I'm studying, has done just a magnificent job of coordinating it all. It's not foreign territory to them. It's something that they often provide. But I just want to meet my teammates and my classmates. I wish that we could be in person. And then I think also to that, probably what everyone is feeling right now with COVID is just finding structure and routine to my day and crafting that, when it's self-imposed is a little different.
You had maybe different role models now, like looking at woman CEO, or is there a woman that inspires you?
Oh my gosh, so many. I think the coolest thing is that everywhere you look, there are women blazing trails and taking ownership of their careers and forging ahead. And that's in spite of a lot of the new pressures. Well, actually, they're not new pressures, but they're just compounded at the moment. We're seeing so many women flee the workforce at the moment with COVID because it's too much to handle at home, and the support just isn't there. So that's one thing that I've been researching a lot. But yeah, I'm inspired by so many women. I've been able to connect with several mentors. It's sort of one of my passions and hobbies is like trying to do these informational interviews with different women whom I admire, and whether that's with women who have started startups or who are at the latter end of their career. There's so much to learn, and even from my profs as well. I'm trying to really capitalize on the opportunity to connect with these amazing academics.
Wow. And I read that you want to create some greeting cards. Like, it is one of your business plan?
Well, I must have mentioned that in an interview once. Yeah, I love cards. It's always, I can't say it's top of mind at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if I do something like that down the road.
Is there other business plans?
Yeah, there are a lot, to be honest. And I'm trying to take time now to really brainstorm fully and craft a business plan that is sound, and do that sort of in parallel to my schooling. But I don't want to rush to announce anything. I just want to make sure I'm doing it all in the right way. And most importantly, the interesting barometer for me is the feeling I had when I was chasing that Olympic gold, especially heading into Pyeongchang, and finding something that ignites a fire that way, something that I feel is worthwhile and meaningful and, having an impact. I'm not sure I'll ever reach that kind of level of, investment in something, but I actually haven't closed the door to that. I think it's out there, and I want to make sure that I take the time to ensure that I'm really chasing the right kind of goals now.
Yes. And, I feel when I met you, I think it was 1 year ago or maybe more, I feel you are more confident than ever. Am I right? Or, was it natural for you, or did you work on that?
Oh, that's such a good question. I would love to know the answer, and from your perspective as well. I don't think it's natural for anyone, but I especially don't think it's natural for women and girls to sort of exude that kind of confidence. It's just not ingrained in us. We're not taught to behave that way, and we're also taught to criticize and critique and tear ourselves apart in any and every given moment. So I think, being a perfectionist, I was plagued with a lot of that type A personality of just wondering, am I good enough, and what can I do better? And part of that athlete mindset, and it transfers into every part of my life, is just I just want to improve and be better. And I wouldn't say that I've definitely not always felt confident, but I think I've learned to just be able to accept where I am in a given moment. and understand that when I walk into a room, I'm not going to be um,
Judge or
yeah, like I think, well, that judgment, you have to be okay with that in like on your own before you try and analyze or assume what other people are thinking about
Mhm.
you. And I guess when I switch my mindset into, okay, what do my accomplishments say about me instead of what does my appearance say about me? Or better yet, how do I make people feel? Like, what kind of human interaction can I have that might make someone feel better or feel good about themselves? Like, those things matter more to me. So I think when I shifted the weight of what I prioritized, then that really helped me come to terms with kind of who I was and what I stood for.
what advice can you give to someone who wish to have more confidence or more power?
Hmm. I think knowing that it's in you, knowing
Yeah.
that you have the skill set, you have this toolbox, you have the power. You just need to know that you're the prize.
Yeah.
My friends have really adopted this because my mom, they always call my mom for advice
No way.
before
Okay.
they call me, and she'll often remind my friends like, you are the prize. And I think one of my friends wanted to make merch of it on candles and t-shirts, like, I am the prize. And sometimes girls need to remember that, and it doesn't mean that there's not a lot to work on or that there's not room for improvement or that we can't strive for these big lofty goals, but just knowing that we're enough just the way we are. And finding confidence can be through a variety of different methods. I mean, that can be through movement, as we talked about at the beginning, dance or working out or whatever, but it can also be with writing or art or just understanding the roles that you play in the lives of others. There's a lot of different ways to come to that feeling of confidence, and it won't be the same every day, I suppose. And
Mm.
another thing I would say is, I don't know about you, but I used to internalize a lot of my feelings. I found
Yeah.
that vocalizing my feelings in a safe space has really added to my confidence because it's given me an opportunity to sort of hear my thoughts in a different way and then also receive some validation, knowing that I'm not alone. And that sense of community that I've been able to create with those around me has really intensified. And I think I feel more confident as a result of that.
And let's talk about when we first met you, discovered you. It was in Vancouver, almost 11 years from now. Can you believe it? It
My
goes so
goodness.
fast.
Wow.
We fell in love with you and Scott, and you both became first North Americans and the youngest ice dancers to be crowned Olympic champions. What souvenir do you keep from that time? What is the best memory you had?
From our skating experience, I'll say that it was that feeling of being in flow, when you're really in the zone and everything aligns and you just are exactly where you should be. And we chased that feeling for, 8 more years and finally felt it again in Pyeongchang. So that's what really stays with me. But there's also, when I think back 11 years ago, I just think that naivete and innocence was so pure. It was so pure. What we didn't know was actually probably our greatest advantage. And I think sometimes, we forget to leverage that, especially as adults, and see the beauty in that.
That's true. That's really true. Like it's like seeing like a baby, my baby, when she looks at
Yeah,
things, it's like the first time and it's always the best. And no, I agree.
yeah. Do you find then you're able to sort of see things through her eyes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm trying just to, everything gets her happy. And that's how you have to look at things,
Well, that's amazing. Well, that's also a testament to the environment you've created for her.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
that kind of happiness, and there's so much love. I just know it.
Oh my God, so much. How were you after Vancouver? You had this naivete, like you said, and then it has changed after that.
I think so. I think, we operated with this sense then that anything less than gold, I would say perfection, but it's not that we had achieved that even in Vancouver, but anything less than what we thought was perfect
Yeah.
just was a disappointment or a failure. And I felt then that we were defending something instead of continuing to strive, or push forward. We just felt like there was this style of virtue and more that people were expecting or this standard. And that pressure really weighed heavily on us, I think.
Yeah, and you were with Scott Moir like 8 years old to 30 years old. It's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And then you took different path. Do you miss him? Is it weird not to be with him?
It is, yeah. I miss him a lot. We miss each other for sure. It's both weird and not weird because
Yeah.
it would be very, very strange for me to be on the ice without him. I was coaching recently and determined that like I would just be a way better coach with him by my side, because that's the environment that is familiar to us, and it's really strange for me to be on the ice without him. But what's so neat now is the way that our lives intersect and connect, and it's in a way that we kind of always we would used to muse about this all the time in the car or when we were traveling or whatever. We would say, what do you think it's going to look like in 20 years, 30 years? What will our relationship be? And it's manifesting in such an interesting and beautiful way. I think, for a relationship that we've really prioritized for 22 years, the groundwork is there. The foundation is there. It's so solid, and that will never, ever change. The experiences we shared together, like I say, just the work we put into it. And now it's sort of blossomed into this reciprocal relationship that we can just support each other and be there for one another and laugh together and reflect together and just celebrate what's going on now in our current lives. And it's a really special thing. I just feel so grateful that we'll always have that friendship.
No, it's really special.
Yeah. I think the thing that helped us was that we were always together when we were working and when it was to do with skating, but we really had our own lives outside of skating. As much as an elite athlete can have a life, we sort of set those boundaries early on where we would leave the rink and it was our own time. So it's very normal for us to, not always be together, not on the rink, So it's been, I think we sort of set ourselves up nicely for that. But
let's talk about Montreal. What does Montreal represent for you?
Oh, mon Dieu. I miss Montreal.
Oh, I like when you speak French.
I miss Montreal. I miss it so much. For the longest time, it was the only place I really felt at home. I was traveling so much, and then we had those 2 years there where we were just so committed. So I think it also it's synonymous to me with that Olympic lead up when we were at our best, really, as athletes. It was the backdrop where we found inspiration through art and fashion and culture and food. But it was also this really energizing, vibrant place that I feel so grateful that we got to experience that. Montreal will always hold a really, really special place in my heart. I dream about making my way back there someday, but it's just fun for now to visit and reflect on those fun memories.
Absolutely. And now we have a date. We'll play with our dogs in Montreal.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
After COVID. Your Moulin Rouge dance in Pyeongchang is one of the greatest Olympic figure skating performance in history. More than 1 million views on YouTube. Is the girl in the red dress is still you, or you are a new woman now?
I think she's still very much a part of me, and it's a good question. I feel I'm growing and learning and evolving in all of the ways that I was hoping to, but there's a long way to go. I just know that the girl that accomplished that in Pyeongchang is still part of me, and that skill set is applicable and transferable.
A lot of people are following you on social media. And I read in a recent post, you ask your followers, what moment do you hope to capture this year? What is yours?
Oh, that's a great question. I loved reading those responses. Oh my God, I was tearing up at some of them. Well, one of my nieces turns 1, so I hope to capture that. I don't know. I won't be able to do that in person because it's soon. But I think it's the family moments. And who knows what will happen if there's travel involved. That would be amazing. But it's just the small moments maybe with family that I would love to capture. Yeah, I think more than ever, we're all appreciating that. I just want to savor every moment with the people that I love.
Thank you, Tessa, for just giving me the time to talk to you and for this interview. Really, I'm really happy.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to connect. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all you're doing for women.
I'm trying my best, and I just feel that we need to have more inspiration like you, and they could have the the opportunity to listen to you and to other women and to discover maybe other women. And really, thank you.
Oh, merci beaucoup.
Merci à toi. Bye. This is it. Hope you like the interview with Tessa. Next week, it's basketball with the youngest guest on my podcast. Bye. See you Tuesday.